Hi, my name is Sarah Gelsheimer, and I'm a Senior Wealth Manager at PlanCorp. And I've worked a lot recently with widows, so I thought it would be helpful to shoot a video on some of the things to start thinking about in case you were to outlive your spouse. So the reality is that 60% of women between the ages of 75 and 84 are widowed. And that number jumps to over 87% after you turn 85. So the chances are pretty great that women at some point in their lives are going to handle their own finances. And unfortunately, a lot of women find themselves not in that situation, not getting involved in their financial situations until after they've lost their spouse. So certainly it is not an ideal time to try to piece together your financial life and grieve the loss of your spouse. And that's really one of the main reasons why I started Inspire Her, was to encourage women to get involved in their financial lives sooner rather than later. So whether you've lost a husband or you haven't, there's some things, really important things that you can start doing now to get a better handle on your overall financial situation. So the first thing I would encourage you to do is have a good understanding of your assets and your debts. So figure out what accounts you have, where they're held, whose name they're in. I would certainly encourage you to have at least one checking account that's in your name or in joint name, so that if something happened to your spouse, you'd be able to access funds immediately to pay bills. And find out, what other assets you have, what debts you have, and who services those debts. So then, in addition to your assets and debts, I would also encourage you to get an understanding of your income and your expenses. So, for example, if your spouse receives some kind of pension, do you know what the survivorship is on that? Is there a survivorship benefit on that pension payment if something happened to him? Social Security, whoever's earning the higher amount is what the survivor will receive. Expenses, whoever's not paying the expenses day to day needs to have at least a good understanding of what expenses there are, whether they're set up on auto pay or it's something that they need to manually write a check for each month. So it's really good idea for both spouses to have at least a general understanding of what expenses need to be paid and how those are currently being paid. Number 3 is understanding your insurance. So do you have life insurance? Do you have disability insurance? Property and casualty insurance? Do you know who that's with and where to find copies of those documents if you needed to? Number 4 would be creating a list of logins and passwords. This is incredibly important, especially as things these days become more and more online. They require you to change your passwords all the time. So making sure you have an up-to-date list of those things. And really, there are some great password managers out there right now. I know, for example, I personally use LastPass, and it's a great way for me to only have to remember one password. So highly encourage you to look into a password manager. And then finally, making sure that you have estate documents that are executed and up to date, and knowing where those are located is so, so important. So we have a really, really great estate planning memo template that you could download, and it provides all this information and it allows you to provide all of it in one place for both spouses and any other family members who would need access to this information. So, of course, as always, if you want more information, please don't hesitate to reach out. Send me a message, email me at Sarah, SARA, @plancorp.com. Thanks.